Urgent emergency breakout, 48 hours, impending rocket deliver explosion to the moon, the whole lot's going to sincerely explode these days, shocking update. Okay, now that I would given that out of my gadget, I just wanted to make a laugh, folks, YouTubers, because honestly, some of those titles are starting to get really ridiculous. We got plenty of cool things to show you today, okay? And I'm not going to try to be too hype guy about it, because frankly, I just need to provide you guys the statistics in a manner that is fun and that gives you many information you need. And bet what, guys, I do suppose that there may be a quite stable chance that we're going to be seeing a quite massive rally. I'm going to go over the technicals today, something that I don't commonly do on all of my videos, due to the fact I'm seeing a lot of wonderful signs for XRP mainly that I need to cowl with you guys. We're additionally going to have a laugh with it. There's some other cool matters I want to expose you, some interview clips from a few influential figures and a few other stuff too. But first, I simply need to talk about the key activities which are going to be taking place this week. There's a whole lot of stuff taking place. We've got December new domestic sales facts on Monday. We got CB, Consumers Confidence Statistics, on Tuesday, the first Fed meeting of 2025. That's occurring on Wednesday. The Q4 2024 GDP statistics Thursday, and then the December PCE inflation records is on Friday. So the two matters that I'm most excited for, in my opinion, are the PCE inflation statistics and of direction the primary Fed Assembly of 2025. This goes to give us a genuinely right concept of the kind of technique we're going to see from the Federal Reserve this year, and it's going to tell us whether or not we're in all likelihood to see quantitative easing, aka money printer, taking place. And additionally, we will have a great observe inflation due to the fact if inflation metrics in line with the Fed are at a sustainable stage, it is simplest to count number of time before the authorities construes a few big conspiracy and receives an excuse to start printing money, similar to they did with Ukraine and other pandemics, which brought about all this inflation to start with. But in which there are troubles, there is always opportunity. So with that being stated, if that indeed is going to be a massive coverage shift from them, we're probable to look at an insane bull run, and surely absurd bull run, if the money printer goes on due to the fact humans are going to be searching out a hedge towards inflation. And we all realize cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, gold stocks, these are all approaches to get out of that loopy, crazy mouse wheel of just by no means finishing sorrow. So with that being stated, there may be a few matters that Trump is doing proper now that I think are going to have a big impact on the economy. Number one, President Trump simply demanded that fees are cut, and he said that lower oil costs are going to fix inflation. And so that's going to be a focus of his administration. Now, what I will say is what Trump is doing proper now is virtually now not going to decrease oil fees. He is accomplishing a exchange conflict with price tons each per person, right? And he is setting tariffs on every person, and so in an effort to make up for those tariffs, you already know oil groups like in Canada right here, we're going to ought to price Trump for extra oil if he does indeed undergo with this in February. But long term, if costs are indeed cut and decrease, costs are indeed reduced, the economy goes to be very strong. And what does the authorities do when the economy is strong? Pretty tons usually. Well, they flip the cash printer on. They find an excuse to turn the money printer on to ruin the economic system, because they cannot have appropriate times for everyone, right? And this has just came about frequently before, but if you are a savvy investor, you can make quite a few cash at some point of this time. And so we are going to be preserving a totally an eye on what Trump is doing with oil and what the Fed goes to be announcing all through this assembly. Due to direction, fee cuts may be within the proper direction, and I'll keep you guys published on that. Now, with that being stated, although I want to play you guys a short clip here from none, aside from Brian Armstrong, due to the fact he has a few quite cool things to say. So I'm simply going to play this clip, and then we will provide some insights. But I assume it is clear at this point that you already know Bitcoin is a higher shape of money than gold. It is provably scarce, just like gold, however. It is extra transportable and divisible, so you could simply use, it has better utility, I would say. And it became the best appearing asset of the closing 10 years. And so for shopper fee, I suppose it's going to be critical for governments to preserve this over time. It might not begin with being 1% of their reserves, but I assume over time it will become equal to or extra than gold reserves. Best performing asset of all time. Wrong. I imply study XRP, men, come on. XRP is vastly outperforming Bitcoin this bull run. It's long passed up greater than 6x. Come on now. Come on, Brian Armstrong, you are better than this. Has Bitcoin gone up 6x? I don't think so, pal. All right? I suggest I'm just fueling the flames, the fireplace of what's occurring X right now. I imply go searching right here, men. The warfare between the Bitcoin maximalists and the XRP military is in any respect time highs. We have the Bitcoin maxis coming out and announcing XRP is centralized and XRP try to ruin Bitcoin, cancel XRP, and then the XRP Navy is coming out and saying, well, really, we are basically higher on every single metric and also you suck, which frankly I agree with. I mean, statistics are statistics from a transactional point of view, all that good stuff. XRP is indeed higher. Yes, if we are going to study it holistically, who cares approximately the reality that we've got Ripple. Really, at the cease of the day, we are doing our job higher and extra humans are the usage of us for transactions, then Bitcoin bye-bye. That's all I got to mention probably with that. But with all that being said, men, I just need to get into the technicals. There's quite a few essential stuff. I even have to expose you enough horsing round and having an excellent time due to the fact we do not have time for that. We're right here to make money proper. Here, so I want to begin by speaking about this. What you are seeing on display screen proper here is called the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands, okay? So right up right here, this red line resistance, this is like your medium line that is form of just like the common and the assist, right? This green is the aid. And there are many specific resistance and support traces at the way up, decrease, down, which you need to search for. I suggest most considerably proper right here, we do have a quite decent resistance at around 312 proper now, which we've got tested more than one times, however, have continuously fallen under as a minimum over the direction of the closing couple of days. And with that being stated, there is one element mainly that's truly critical, approximately the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands here, it is progressively getting tighter and tighter. And each single time that the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands get extraordinarily tight, like this, aka the pink and inexperienced line, get like loads in the direction of apart from any time formally, as we are able to see over right here, that may be a quite sturdy indicator that a breakout is coming. It's basically a setup for what is known as a wedge sample. A wedge sample is when the charts start transferring with less volatility and it receives increasingly more constant and it holds a Philo's extra step by step or a number charge more regularly than ever earlier than. And this is when you see the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands hit this form of indication right here. And so I'm being attentive to this because each unmarried time traditionally that we have fashioned a wedge or we've got visible the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands tighten up to this degree, there has been a completely massive breakout. Now, I want to show you men some examples via going to the day-by-day charts right here on XRP, just a form of come up with, guys, and concept of ways this has happened several instances previously. Okay, primary proper around this time, proper right here, before we had our remaining greater current breakout at the quit of December. What we saw here is of root, in case you examine the lowest of the chart proper here, within the stochastic daily RSI, we have been indeed oversold, and there was a blue cross above the orange proper right here.